that was part of our symposium here, so I'll talk about it after.
Okay, cool. Obnaka Bula Tarisi again. So we've had some questions coming through from Scotland, actually, where a colleague of ours is now located, and he was wanting to know a bit more about your role with PIMA. So would you be able to speak a little bit to that?
Sure. Nakavakalevu Greg for the question, and yeah, the Pacific Island Museum Association is a regional organization, which is a organization that combines all the museums in the Pacific. And I've been so blessed to be a part of this organization. I came into this role as Secretary General in 2010. The role was supposed to be 2 years, from 2010 to 2011, because there was funding available for my role. But then now I'm volunteering. I'm not paid for the role, but I do it for love, and I'm still looking after the organization as a Secretary General, and I work under the President, James. Joseph, not James, Joseph Cameron, sorry, Jojo, from Guam. And him and I work along together to keep the organization going. We're hoping to revamp it, to bring it back to how it used to be in 2020 in June in Hawaii, where PIMA will be hosting a regional workshop on museology. And Pacific museums. I think the UNESCO is going to be sponsoring us and other organizations too. So yeah, that's the role that I'm currently doing for PIMA.
That's cool. And another one of the questions was whether there's plans with Fiji to do more collaboration with Melanesia. Yes, and because he said that, you know, you guys do take part in the Melanesian Festival of Arts and Culture. So is there that look towards the West, or what? Yeah, I'm not so sure about the dynamics of that. That's something that Greg's asking about. So can you maybe explain that and then talk about what you think the plans are?
Absolutely, yes. I think through the Melanesian Arts Festival in 2014, we kind of look at this festival as, you know, platforms for artists and museums and, you know, communities to come together, celebrate what connects all of us. And in 2014, when Papua New Guinea hosted the Melanesian Arts Festival, it was a wonderful time that all the museums in Melanesia were all in one place. And PIMA, through the work that I did with UNESCO, with Dr. Katsuki in Samoa, we were able to deliver a really good workshop on looking at fighting against the illicit trafficking of cultural property, which is a very big issue in the Pacific, but more so in Melanesia. So there will definitely be a good reason for the Fiji Museum, Vanuatu Cultural Center, you know, the museum, the Jibal Cultural Center, and the Museum of New Caledonia, the Solomon National Museum, and the Papua New Guinea National Museum and Art Gallery should be working together, even to combat this issue. So definitely, yes, Fiji definitely will be looking west and working together with all these museums, and that workshop was a really good avenue for all these museums to be talking to one another. And we hope that the 2020 Festival of Pacific Arts in Hawaii in June next year will be another forum where not only Melanesia, but also Micronesian museums and Polynesian museums will be together in one place and talking about these kind of issues, talking about collaborations, and talking about funding and training for all our museum staff in the region. So an exciting time coming around the corner, Greg.
Yeah,
watch this space.
Yes, exactly. That sounds amazing. Great if you can bring everyone together, and I suppose the more UNESCO can get behind that, the better. But because was that when you were talking about Tambua and the people taking it out, smuggling it out, and that sort of thing. I think I remember you doing a
Absolutely.
paper on that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So I should have another look at that. Another question that's come through is that, so what's PIMA's vision and plans for increased partnerships Pacific-wide? So you've kind of mentioned that. And then maybe in regards to projects related to World War II heritage and projects of remembrance or encouraging Indigenous perspectives of global events like World War II, colonisation and so on. I know Greg and I worked together on the World War II memory work, so I know that's where his mind is at, even though he's doing some research in different areas now. But is that something that you've looked into?
Absolutely. Through the work of the Fiji Museum, giving the example of Fiji Museum as well as the National Archives, and looking at the project called, the Memory of the World. I think it's really good to bring things that are in common for the region. And also this will be interesting to look into World Heritage Site nominations. As we both know that Levuka finally is now in the World Heritage listing. Interestingly enough, the Melanesian region has the highest list of heritage listing in this World Heritage list, so which is amazing. Papua New Guinea definitely was the number one, with the Cook site,
Yes.
and then Solomon Islands with the Morova Lagoon, and then you've got the Chief Reimata domain in Vanuatu, and then now you've got Levuka for Fiji. And so definitely Melanesia, we take the lead when it comes to heritage management, but we also need to support our Polynesian and Micronesian cousins that are actually coming up, the pathway of initiating the nomination of a World Heritage sites into the list. Maybe, through the World War II sites, this could be, an opportunity, because we have that in Fiji, we have that in Solomon Islands, as well as in Papua New Guinea. Maybe this could be something PIMA can try and get us together and move it forward.
Yeah, wow. I know there's the little waiting dots. He must be typing something else. But yeah, that would be amazing if there's a bit more work across the Pacific, because I think at the moment with the World War II heritage management, it's nationally done.
Mm-hmm.
That's my understanding of it. Is that so do you apply for the UNESCO Heritage Register? I don't really know how that works. I'm not in the heritage sector so much. So
for the nomination, it has to be national. So definitely, so the listing of the heritage sites has to go into the list within the national boundary. So each nation has to deal with their own listing. But one of the lessons that was learned when Levuka was nominated and accepted was that other countries in the Pacific who have colonial towns, because Levuka was the first capital, and you have other colonial towns in the region. That was kind of one lesson that was learned through Levuka's process, was that, wow, imagine if Levuka is accepted as a World Heritage Site, being a colonial town. There are other colonial towns in the Pacific region. Maybe in the future, there can be like a collective nomination. So, so that's kind of like something that is being discussed. So if that's going to be applicable for, historical towns, maybe it can work for World War II sites.
Yeah. So Greg's latest messages just come in. He said, UN doesn't consider so much heritage sites related to conflicts, which is why the Kokoda area has problems with listing. They're on a tentative list. But if you've got any advice with regards to heritage sites that have more emphasis on conflict and warfare, he would be interested in that.
Oh, absolutely. I think, Greg, we can also look to Marshall Islands. Marshall Islands is a good example, because the Bikini Atoll, which was used for bombing and all of that, with the US taking over the territory in Micronesia. Yeah, is actually in the list. It's a World Heritage.
Okay, so that would be a good example case study to go with. Okay, yeah. Well, hopefully that'll give him something to chew on for the next little while.
Yeah, good luck, Greg, for the questions.
Yeah, so good to keep that conversation going. Well, yeah, that's this has spun out into something pretty interesting. He says thank you. That's good. Yeah, so Nakatari. See, I think that's pretty great. And I think I'm kind of excited now because if these kinds of conversations are happening in between your PIMA meetings and stuff like that, then maybe there's potential to bring everyone together more quickly and push things along. So
absolutely. And I think if I can mention too, there's a wonderful program initiated by the University of the South Pacific through the Pacific Studies program, through the amazing vision and work of Dr. Crescentia Francis Koya. We've just launched last year in August the first ever postgraduate certificate in heritage management.
Oh,
and
nice.
we have students from Fiji, from Kiribati, and from Niue. So again, just doing a plug for the heritage management certificate, that is currently being offered through the University of the South Pacific. So if there are potential students in the region from Papua New Guinea, Vanuatu, Solomon Islands, and the list goes on, please, when the call out goes online, please apply. Because many of the teachers and the people that are teaching it are from the region, and it'll be a good way to support our regional institution. So I'm sure Francis Coy will be happy to hear this for me promoting it through this channel, Kirsty.
Yes, I think we both probably have a very soft spot for USP. And it's a pretty amazing place in a lot of ways. The other thing, were you going to plug your book as well? The book that you had there?
Yeah, that's right. I was too excited to be talking to you earlier, and I forgot. I had two books, but I've got one here. I've tried to send this to you. It's called Diverse Cultures, Wider Perspectives. So these are collective writings and articles of all of us who were here in Seoul, Korea, as part of this World Gallery. What's the name of this? Oh yeah, it's World Art Gallery. It's going to be opened officially here in Korea next month in December. So the reason why we're here is to talk about the way forward on how we can make this art gallery in one of the best institutions here in Korea. So we had 3 sessions that we talked about. So the first session was the latest trend of world cultures exhibitions, and we had 2 speakers, one from France and one from Louvre, Abu Dhabi. So if you saw the pictures that I posted up online, so all those gentlemen I was sitting with, they're all from these institutions. The second session was looking at cultural diversity and museums. So it was myself and Dr. Christopher Whitehead from the Newcastle University in the United Kingdom. And then the third session was called Exhibition for World Cultures in Korea. So we had Han Soo, who is the head of Asian Arts Division at the National Museum of Korea, and also the director for APCEIU from UNESCO here in Korea, who also spoke on the topic of global citizenship education in promoting respect for cultural diversity. So so this is a book that came out of our symposium this week. So I will definitely send you a copy, Kirsty, to say thank you to you for interviewing me.
It's been a pleasure. Yeah, you're amazing. Thank you so much for your time and I know you've woken up so early there. So Thank you for getting all spruced up for this interview. It's been really good. And thanks for taking the time to answer those questions, because I think that's a really productive discussion to be kickstarting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, I'll let you go again. And if there are any more questions, I think I'll just encourage people to post it up onto the comment section in Facebook, and then we can deal with them there. That should be good.
Okay. Absolutely. I love these sessions, and I look forward to more.
Oh, Vinaka, yes, let's do it again. All right. Take care. Mother.
Vinaka, mother.